like an extended family. It's really like a family. You talk your own language. You treat each other as brother and sisters. And I think the trust and bonding that this team, you formed the culture would prepare you to be really big for everyone. And don't take it for granted. And would have, he's our friend, and I'm so admired by his commitment and hardworking. So every day he wake up early and he do a positive mindset and $1 billion morning exercise, right? So you lead by example, Rudolph. And he's really warm-hearted. He opened the entire team training to my team. And I feel we really carry the same mission that no family left behind. And just a little bit about myself, right? Like a lot of people, on this Zoom call, I'm the first generation immigrants from China. When I grown up, this is my mom and dad. They always, you can see my screen, am I right?
Yes,
you can see my
yes,
screen,
Shophiya,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So this is my mom and dad. They always tell me that to work hard, to study hard, right? And this is when I always follow my parents' advice and come to States. This is my brother. They still in China. So by acquired the highest degree and find the best job in IBM, I thought that was my highest point in life. That was American dream come true. Until I meet WFG, it opens the door. It completely changed my vision and my career, professionally and personally, totally into a business world. And this is my, parents-in-law. They live with us, right? And they live with us more than 10 years. And this is my husband. This is my son and my daughter. And I live a happy life. And I feel blessed every day that a opportunity completely changed my life and even my children's life. This was me, right? Wear a mask and being an engineer, very shy, very introvert, don't know how to talk to people, don't know friends. My father knows me that I only have 5 or 6 friends. It's all engineer. This is where I worked in IBM. It's a small cubicle. If you're still working in the corporate America, you know what that means, right? But coming to the business world, this is Hahuan Yuzhou. They are 1.5 million ring owners. And this is me and my husband. We are working in the financial industry and the teaching and protect people's wealth. I think this is really meaningful and is really impactful. So feel proud of the things that we are doing, guys, right? So because of the success in the business, and I was able to treat my parents well. This is a home I buy from for my parents in China, and they feel very, very happy. This is a new apartment for them. And where I got the money, right? I got money from the IUL all the time. Whenever my parents need money, I got the loan from them, right? 24 to 48 hours, the IUL, the money goes to my personal bank account, right away. The next day, you see, and then a wire transfer to China. I believe we all share the similar beginning. We share the similar family value, and we treat our family well. We treat our kids well, and the WFG definitely is my extended family. And being here, I was able to be free, time and never worry about money. So this is what WFG bring to me, right? And today, due to a limited time, we're gonna focus on one product, which is one of our key products, Index Universal Life. And first of all, I want to talk to you about IUL, the features, and most important is application, right? And next, we maybe can have some Q&A session. And then, let's focus on this is the key product, right? Let me see. So instead of I do a one-way training, I want our training to be a conversational. Maybe Regina, are you ready that you can we can work together to have a conversation? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So talking about IUL, the position of IUL is really critical, right? So this is how typically we start the conversation with a client at home. in the field, right? For example, Regina, hey, have you heard of X curve, Regina?
No, I have not.
Okay, so X curve, let me show you what that means. And I like this concept a lot, right? So in our life, there's two important curves. One is called decreasing of responsibility, Regina, right? And because when we are young, we have kids, we have mortgage, we have higher responsibility, right? When we grow older, our kids graduate from school, and we paid off the mortgage, and the responsibility on our shoulder is keep decreasing. Am I right?
Yes.
So this is called decreasing of responsibility. Another important curve is called increasing of the wealth. Increasing of the wealth. Yeah, we save money, we invest, we grow our money. So when we are younger, when our responsibility is higher than our wealth, we are financially not secure. I'm right?
Right.
Yeah, we are financially not secure. In this stage, we need to make more money. People generate money more than money generate money. Am I right?
Yes.
So who is the most valuable asset in your family? Is you, right? Is a breadwinner. Yeah. So in this stage of life, we need to protect people. So life insurance, life protection can help us close the gap. This is the first stage of life. When we are young, when we have young kids, we need to protect the life. Am I right? Yeah.
Yes.
When we grow older at a retirement stage, when we save more money than our responsibility, we are financially secure. Right? So that is a criteria to judge if we are secure or not. It's always a comparison of how much we saved compared to how much is our responsibility. When our wealth is bigger than the responsibility, we are financially secure. Right?
Exactly.
When we retire, we rely on money generate money because we don't actively working for money, right? So at that stage, we need to protect our money. Is that true?
Right.
Protect our money from what? Right? Protect the money from the four risks. One is inflation risk. I believe everybody can feel the inflation, right? So the milk, the egg is more expensive than before, maybe doubled. That is called inflation. If our money cannot grow faster than the inflation, our purchasing power is decreased. Our quality of life gonna jeopardized because of inflation. Am I right? So how to protect our money from inflation? We need to invest. If our money stay in the bank, people say, oh, bank guarantee no loss. I say, well, bank guarantee loss because bank interest cannot beat inflation. What bank can guarantee you? Bank can guarantee you lose money. Right? So our money, long-term money cannot put into the bank. Our emergency fund can put to the bank, but retirement fund, kids education fund cannot put into a bank. We need to invest. Number two, we need to protect the money from the market risk, right? I don't know how many people in America in 2008. I was in America in 2008. I just joined IBM as engineer, and my 401k become 201k. If you have a similar experience, you can raise your hands, right? So that is a very painful lesson. But looking forward, the next 30, 40 years, how many market downturn we're going to experience? One answer I know for sure is more than once, right? Multiple times. Number three, we need to protect our money from tax. If we make money, for example, our $100, we make $6. But if we receive 1099 mailed to our home and the $6 gains need to pay tax, Regina, you are accounting, right? If it's $6, I need to pay 30% tax on it. I lose $2 to Uncle Sam. I only have $4. Am I right?
Yeah.
So that is the tax going to erode our wealth, right? And number four, to protect what? Protect our wealth gonna be wiped off by medical bill. Yeah, especially for long-term care, because in America, your health insurance, your Medicare cover surgery and drugs, everything. But if we trigger long-term care, which means if we cannot perform 2 of the 6 daily living activities. We need somebody to take care of us, a registered nurse or, you know, a daily daycare. That is called long-term care. It's very expensive. That is the #1 reason to wipe off our retirement asset. So we need to protect our money from the inflation, market risk, tax, and medical expense. Let me ask you, Regina, do you have one financial vehicle that can protect a life at the beginning and gradually it transfer to protect your wealth? Do you have one financial vehicle, to
No,
protect
I
your life
don't.
at the same time to build up your wealth? And
No,
also build up your wealth against those 4 risks, 1, 2, 3, 4. No?
I don't. No.
Okay. Today, I want to introduce one financial vehicle can do all the things naturally through your entire life. Right? Yeah. Do you want to know?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So that is called a design for the index universal life. First of all, it is a life insurance policy. It's a permanent protection. And, more than that, we put money, it is a saving in the life insurance. You can consider a IUL, it is a saving, a tax-free saving vehicle under a life insurance umbrella. It is like a saving bucket. You see, this is a money container. But why I want to save money, in the life insurance? Because you see the money grow money, Uncle Sam cannot tax me. It's tax-free. At the same time, it gives me a permanent protection, right? So for example, if it's a $500,000 protection, if anything happened to me, right, either, and then my kids get $500,000 tax-free. That is a tax-free death benefit. That is under tax rule section 101. Okay, so any tax benefit, it has to trace back to RC tax code. Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's benefit tax-free. That is RC tax code 101. And then money grow money, no tax. When I take the money out properly, like say through loan, that is tax-free. That is follow tax code 7702. The death benefit follow 101, the living benefit follow RC tax rule 7702. That is the IUL. Makes sense, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So life insurance industry, it is experienced a long time evolution. It's like a cell phone. Any industry is become better, right? Cheaper, and the function is better. Am I right? Yeah. So does the financial industry. It is always improving and evolving. Right? And I think the key, the benchmark, is happened in 1980s. Before that, right, we have term. Term is like a temporary protection. For example, a lot of people realize that they have kids. They have kids, they need protection. They go by a term. For example, 20 years. After 20 years, the kids graduate from school. They think, oh, okay, I don't have liability and my term expire. So by term, and people need to die on time, right? Otherwise, their premium they paid is thrown into the water. It's all wasted. One misconception people always have is the term is cheaper. Regina, have you heard of that?
Yes, I thought about that too, but I did not know about IUL.
Yeah, term is cheaper. But I want to challenge everybody to think of one question. So what does that mean by term is cheaper? Is really the cost of insurance is cheaper? Let's see, what is life insurance mean? Life insurance means if you have past license, you know that, right? Life insurance is transfer risk, transfer life risk, right? So in case something happened to me and my family do not get impacted financially, I transfer that risk to life insurance company, right? So basically the cost of insurance all depends on what? The risk of passing away. That is a possibility. Am I right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, if term is cheaper than permanent life insurance cost, what does that mean? For people by term, they don't die. And for people buy permanent life insurance, they die easier. Is that what it means?
No.
It doesn't make any sense, right?
No.
So for example, if a 40-year-old person buy a life insurance, if anything happened to me, the life insurance company pay my family $500,000. Does that add to do that risk, that possibility, does that to do anything with whether I bought its term or whether I bought its term permanent life insurance? No, the life insurance company share the same life risk. Is that true?
Yes.
So I want to clarify the first concept. For the cost of insurance part, term is not cheaper. Actually, permanent life insurance for the pure risk part, permanent life insurance is even cheaper than the term. Why? Because it's like your tenant, right? A permanent life insurance, they sign a lease for 50 years. A term, the people sign lease for 10 years. If you are a landlord, will you give all discount for the people sign a permanent lease?
No.
Yes, right? For
sorry,
permanent,
yes.
give a discount, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So so that is the first misconception people always have. Okay. But why permanent life insurance people pay more? People put more money, it doesn't mean that the cost is more, right? People put more money, but the cost to share the risk part is similar or even cheaper. But where the rest of the money go? The rest of money is saved up. So you saw a permanent life insurance, you need to commit more premium. That's true. But your premium is not always goes to a cost. The more premium is have the saving part. Okay. So that is the first message. I want to everybody be very clear. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So where the saving part go, right? It's determined, the different type of life insurance. So first of all, every life insurance, it is a term. You can think of all the permanent life insurance as annual renewable term. It is a term that they cover you until age 120. Does that make sense? Right?
Yeah.
So every life insurance is a term. And, when people grow older, right, and the life risk is higher, if you are an insurance company, if the person 20-year-old, if this 20-year-old people pass away, you give $500,000, whether a 70-year-old pass away, you give $500,000, is that the risk is the same? No, the 70-year-old risk is higher. That's why 70 years old, that the need to be more expensive. The cost should be high. Am I right? Right.
Yeah.
So that is true for the term, and that is true for permanent. But why 20-year? For example, 20-year term or 10-year term, people pay the same because they leverage it out, right? So for example, they from 20-year to 40-year, they pay this much. If they buy 30-year term, they pay this much. They all already lever it out. But every life insurance is an annual renewable term. Okay, so the unit cost, right? The unit cost is always goes up with age. But does that mean in the IUL, the cost goes up? No. So the cost of insurance is a unit price. It's like you buy chocolate, right? Regina, if you buy chocolate, $2 for 1 pound chocolate is 2 pounds is $4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unit price. Life insurance, the same thing. In life insurance industry, the unit is every $1,000 coverage is 1 unit. If it's $500,000 protection is 50 units. If it's $1 million protection, it is 100,000 units. Is that simple?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a unit price times the risk amount, how much I buy. So in the permanent life insurance IUL, the unit price goes up with the age, but the risk amount I buy is less and less. That's why don't worry, in the IUL, the cost is not increasing because it's increasing a little bit and then decreasing when you grow old. Yeah, if I have time today, I'm gonna show you. Okay, so my message number one, every life insurance, secret number one, is annual renewable term. Number two, The cost of insurance is determined by the unit price times the risk amount. Term is not cheaper. Rather the permanent even a little bit cheaper than the term is because it's all measured by transfer of risk. Okay. All right. So then this is a difference between term and a permanent one. And in the 1950s, people think, oh, I want to buy a permanent so that my kids eventually get the money. And, then they have a whole life policy. The whole life policy, the extra money I put into the policy, it goes to the bond market. They get a fixed rate of 3 to 4%, right? That is whole life. And whole life, everything's fixed. People, do they have a flexibility to put more premium? No. The premium is fixed. The interest rate is fixed. The face amount is fixed. And then later on, 1979, people think, oh, I want flexibility. This year, my kids go to school, college. I want to put less. Oh, next year, I got a bonus. I want to put more. And then they started to have a universal life. Universal stands for flexible. So the premium can be up and down, but the rate they earn is still from the bond market return, right? So more or less, the whole life and the universal life, they more focus on the death benefit. Start from 1985, people think, oh, I'm saving and invest under a life insurance umbrella. I do not need to pay tax. That's great. Why not I invest into the equity market so that I can make more? Right? Stock market is always have a better return in the bond market in the United States. You never see a long-term stock market underperform bond market, right?
Right.
So by the way, let me explain a little bit more. What is a stock? What is a bond? Right. For example, today, Regina, I want to open a gas station, right? You are a bank. I want to get a loan, or I want to borrow money from you. I want to borrow money from you, and you give me 100K. So that 100K is a bond. I promise you, Georgina, and I'm going to pay you, like 4%. That is a bond, 4%. Okay. So I am very ambitious. I want to open gas station. I want to open a lot of gas station, and so that my company gonna go public, go on stock market, right? And then when I go to public, and my company return every year is like 7 to 8%. That is stock market. Okay. So is that possible that my return is lower than the money I borrow from you, the interest I promise you? It doesn't work that way, right? So that's why stock market in a long run, in a healthy economy environment, stock market always higher than bond market. Doesn't make sense to you?
Yes.
So that is a VUL. So the fundamental difference between VUL and IUL compared to whole life is that the saving part, the interest earning, is a follow equity market, right? So that is a VUL. V stands for variable. They can buy a mutual fund there. U stands for universal, is flexible, okay? And then people say, oh, I have a higher potential of grow my money, have a better return, but I still subject to market risk. In 2008, I lose money in my 401k and I lose money in my life insurance. I don't like that. And later on, people say, hey, can I have a whole life bond market stability, but I do want VUL growth potential? They say, yeah, you can have that. So that is 1997. It has been a long time, right? It's not a recent thing. It has been there for, how many years? More than 20 years already. Index universal life is that the interest credit follow index change. Index change, for example, SP 500, that's stock market return. However, when the market goes down, I have a 0% floor or 0.75% floor, so that when the market up, I go up. When the market down, I have a floor. That is index universal life. Yeah, it combines the unique strengths of whole life and also VUL, stability and growth. They combine the advantage together, have IUL. Okay. So do you know, friends, they still have old policy of UL and whole life? A lot of them do. Okay. A lot of them do. I want to remind everybody, some people say, oh, I already have life insurance, don't have the message, they don't need anymore. You say, oh, sure, yeah, you have your iPhone, probably it's maybe a Motorola old phone. right? Now you have an iPhone. Let me review your policy to see, if it's good, you keep it. If there is any room to improve, why not do an upgrade? Right? When people say already have life insurance, keep in mind what kind of life insurance, right? If the whole life is 3 to 4% return, if now they know there is 7 to 8% return, why not do an upgrade? Right? They may pay less, get more benefit. They may pay less, get higher coverage. They may pay less, get higher cash value. They may, pay the same, get a free long-term care rider. So there's always a room for us to review people's policy and give them the most updated one. Okay. Now let's focus on in the IUL, how we make money, how the interest credited to us. As I mentioned, in the IUL, our money is not goes to SP 500 index fund. Our money is not goes to the index fund. Instead, our interest is follow the index change. So what does that mean? For example, 2000 to 2001, if the index goes down, like the blue line, in IUL, I don't lose money. I have a floor. Transamerica have 0.75% floor. Nationwide have 0% floor, right? If the market goes down 2 years, I don't lose money. I still make money. If the market up and I goes up, follow index change. If the market goes 10%, I got a 10%. If the market goes, let's say 15%, I don't goes to as a 15%. I got a cap, right? In Transamerica, if SP 500 right now, the cap at 12%. If a global index is capped at 13%, right? So if the SP goes 15%, I get a 12%. If the SP goes down 20%, how much I get, Regina?
0.75, yes.
0.75%. If the market goes up 8%, how much I get? 8%, right? So this is how the interest credit is always follow the 1 year change and apply to the cap and floor. Okay, all right. So let's have a closer look at what is the historical return, right? So this is the most updated value from 2004 to 2023. That is a 20-year history, right? So 2004 to 2005, market grow 8.99%. I got this much, right? So 2008, you see, market crashed 38%. I got 0.75. Okay, so if it's a market grow 19%, I kept at 12. If COVID, market crashed 19%, got a 0.75. So if I do a buy and hold in the SP 500 every year, I would get 7.52%. If my money in the IUL, it is more stable. At the same time, because I avoid the loss, I get 8.05%. It's better, right? Yeah. So, a lot of people say, why I can do that, right? So if you sell Transamerica FFIUL, I want everybody know how to get the information, right? So how many of you have been licensed? If you have been licensed, you can register, for example, Transamerica website. You have a professional login, ID and password. Let me show you where you can have all this information. At the same time, you can download a Transamerica, offline live illustrator. Later on, I'm going to show you how to have that, right? So that is all the resources you have, okay. Yeah, the website is still running. And that is the last 20 year. If you look at the last, 25 years or 30 years, and what is the rate of return? Yeah, Regina, you see last 25 years, if your money stay in the index, you got a 5.55%. But if you have a cap and floor, you get a 7.5%. That is the last 25 years, right? So this is the last 15 years and 25 years. So this is a average stock, market return, right? So, okay. So if you log into the Transmark website, everybody, look at my the screen, right? You go to the consumer products material, there's some agent material, right? There's underwriting guideline. This is all open materials. Where I get those information, look at this one, index account rate glance. There's English, Spanish, simplified Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, different language. If you have clients don't know English well, and then you may find their mother tongue, right? You see, this is always give you the most updated information for SP 500, 0.75% floor, 12% cap. And for global, right? Global, what that mean? It traces three indices. Hong Kong and the SP and also Euro stock, right? So Hong Kong index weighted 20%, and Euro stock and SP, who performed better, the rank number one, they counted 50%, and the second place counted 30%. Let me give you an example. In this one, let's say this year, SP grow 8.99%, right? Euro stock performed this much, and the Hong Kong, how it is a weighted average, what that mean? So you use 11.22 times 20% plus 8.99 times 50% plus 6.16 times 30%. You get a weighted average return. You got it? And that one subject to 0.75% floor and 13% cap. Okay. So that is the option in the Transmark IUL. Either you can choose a pure SP, which is only related to US economy, or you want to more diversify, you can choose global index, which is including Asian, US, and also Europe, right? So that is the two options. So what that means and where you can get the material. This is a very useful and information you can easily get online, right? And another useful information, and you can always get online, right, is the FFIUL client brochure, right? I recommend everybody you can download, you read it, so that help you to understand the product better, right? So like what I mentioned, the global, right, 50, 30, 20% weighted average, how it get calculated, it has a very, very clear, a graph demonstration. Yeah, you see, it is a segment ending date minus the starting date, the difference divided by the starting date, you got the percentage change, and that percentage change up subject to the cap and floor. Okay, so another good point that the client brochure deliver why avoiding loss is so important. Avoiding loss can be as important as realized gains because, right? I think this is a very powerful point. Let's say if you have $100 in the stock market, if the market lose 50%, you become $50, right? And you need to require the market up 100%, then you back to $100. Not even talking about make money yet. So if the market minus 50%, you have to wait market up 100% is equal to zero. Minus 50% plus 100% is equal to zero, right? So why is avoiding loss is so important? People asking, oh, how come the cap and floor can better than the SP? Because of avoiding loss, right? This is a very important, point. Okay, all right. So that is basically, how we funding how the interest got a credit, right? All right. How to funding the policy? I want to talk a little bit more about this. So any investment account, we need to be very clear about three things. Number one, how to fund it. Number two, how to get interest. Number three, how to use it, right? So just now, I spent most of the time explain to you how the interest got a credit, So basically, if your client is put money each month, you create 12 segments. You can think of 12 drawers in a row. From January is one drawer, February is one drawer, March is one drawer, December is one drawer. You create a 12 segment, right? So today is February 17, 2024. If I create a segment today, when will you see the interest, Regina? You would expect to see the interest on
2025, yeah.
25. It's a February 17, 2025. The entire whole year, it's gonna compare. For example, if the SB is 5,000 today, right? 1 year later, if the SB is 550, right? The market grow 10%. How much interest I get? 10%, right?
500.
If in this segment I have $100, how much interest I make? I make $10, right? So in this
110,
segment, my
yeah.
savings become 110. Is that clear? Right. So if the March 17, 2024, then it's compared to March 17, 2025. If the market, goes down, let's say, right, then how much I get? I get $100 plus 70.75% of $100, right? It's 75 cents. I have $100.75 in this segment. So if the client put money every month, and I gonna interest in all these 12-month segment, and how much entire cash value I have is all add up. Each drawer, how much money I have. This is how I make money. Is that clear? How I gain interest?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So this is the step 2, right? About how I funding this policy. So in this account, in Index Universal Life, how to funding the policy is very, very flexible. You can put more money, which is called maximum. You can put less money, which is kind of minimum, right? If you put more and you save more, right? If you open the Life Illustrator, let's say this one, you see the 7-pay, 31,000, that is the maximum you can put. Also, you see a MNLP that is called minimum no lapse premium, 2,790. So that is tell you how flexible you put. Let's say this is 7-pay every year. This is a minimum, no lapse. LP stands for minimum, and you can put anywhere in between. If you put less, it is more towards a protection. You save less. If you put more, and the money deducted to buy a life insurance umbrella is the same, right? So you put more money, the money goes to buy a umbrella for protection, and the rest of money goes to the savings and invest. If you put more, you invest more, and the cash value more. If you put less, you invest less, and the cash value less. But the umbrella, for example, $500,000 protection is always there. Does that make sense? Right. So that is about the step 1 funding part. So we covered the funding, we covered the interest rate, and now I want to say a little bit about the third one, how you're going to use the money. How to use the money. If you open the Life Illustrator, here you can see when you have income, the distribution, right? The distribution, you click on it, you see, you can have withdrawal, you can have loan, you can mix withdrawal and loan. What does that mean, right? What does that mean? You can have withdrawal and loans. In life insurance account, you always can have either withdrawal or loan, right? For example, in this account, I have $100K cash value here. Okay, totally I put, let's say 300K. Oh, no, sorry, 30K. That is a total premium I put in, 30K, and my cash value grow to 100K. All right, okay, so that is a scenario. Now, today, I want to use my money. I want to use 40K. What options I have? Okay, so I have option of withdrawal. What is withdrawal mean? Anybody, have you ever withdraw money from your 401k account? Regina, have you ever withdraw money from?
Yes.
You did?
Sorry, no, I just took loan. I haven't withdrawn. No.
Okay, excellent. So you're smart, you take a loan, right? So what is the difference between withdrawal and loan? That is a very good experience, Roger. Let's say if you have 100K in your 401K account, if today you withdraw for 40K, what is the consequence?
Tax. I have to pay extra tax and penalty.
Yes, you need to pay tax. That 40K is become your income. You trigger tax, right? And also if you are not 15 and a half, if you withdraw, you trigger 10% age penalty. Okay, all right. In life insurance, it's the same thing. If you withdraw money, you possibly can trigger tax. It all depends on how much money you put in together all together and how much money you want to withdraw. If the withdrawal amount in this scenario, 40K, is bigger than your cost, this is called the total premium. Actually, the total premium is a cost basis, right? So if your withdrawal amount is bigger than your total money put in, you have gains, right? If you withdraw gains, you need to pay tax on the 10K. 30K is after tax dollar already. In life insurance, all the premium is after tax dollar already, right? So when you withdraw money on the principal, you do not need to pay, but on the gains, if you withdraw, you need to pay tax on it. Clear? Clear. Okay, awesome. That is withdrawal. Okay, the second option is loan. Like you mentioned, you use 401K money, you use loan. Why you use loan, right? So why the 401K company loan you? Have you thought about it? Let me elaborate with you together. Rodina, if you have 100K 401K with Fidelity, if today you took a 40K loan, what does that mean? Fidelity gave 40K from his pocket to you. That is called a loan, right? If you borrow people's money, do you need to pay loan interest? Of course, otherwise it's not a loan. Let's say loan interest typically is about 5%. You pay Fidelity. Let's say I borrowed 40K, I didn't return, then the next year, I 40K is my principal and 5% loan, $2,000 is the loan rate, 5% loan interest. Am I right? Yeah. So why Fidelity can borrow you money? Because you have an account with them, right? What Fidelity do is that they reserve 40K into a loan reserve account. Yeah, like a custodian account. And Fidelity credit you 5%. So you see, you pay them 5%, they credit you 5%. So what does that mean, right? In your 401K account, originally you have 100K, now you have 60K in the market, and now you have 40K in the fixed rate account, right? After 1 year, that the fixed rate is 40K plus 2,000. That 2,000 is 5% loan credit. So some people say, oh, you know what? For a loan is a good thing. You pay interest, but you pay yourself. It is true, right? You pay 5% to Fidelity. Fidelity credit you 5% to your loan reserve account. So that is called a wash loan. What does that mean? It's a wash out. It's literally it's saying it's a 0% loan rate. You give 5% to them, they give back 5% to you. You pay to yourself. Did Fidelity make money by loan you money? Fidelity didn't take a penny out of you. So yeah, it looks like you pay interest, but back to your own account. Do you trigger tax this way? No, you don't trigger tax. In other words, if you do a loan in your 401K, number one, you don't need to pay tax. Number two, did you pay any really loan cost? No, no loan rate. You pay to yourself. You don't lose anything. That is the advantage of loan. Okay, so guys, life insurance is the same thing. Life insurance is the same thing. It's not a new concept. It's the same. So in this scenario, if I have a cash value of 100K, if I want to say 40K, so who gonna give me 40K? Transamerica gonna out of his pocket give me 40K, right? If it's a loan, do I need to pay loan interest? Yes. What is the loan interest? So if I open policy for the first 10 years, I pay 2.75%. Right, after 10 years, I need to double check on this. After 10 years, it's 2%, I believe. Yeah, where you can find all this information, It is in the client brochure. You can see this. Oh, it's good, right? You see, for first 10 years, the loan rate is 0.75%. After I open policy 10 years, if I use money, the loan charge, right? The loan charge is 2%. This is how much I pay to Transamerica, right? So Transamerica gonna, put the same amount of money into the loan reserve account and they credit me. That is called a loan credit. This is called a loan charge, and this is called a loan credit. How much they credit me? If I use money, within 10 years, I open policy, it is 2% loan credit. If longer than 10 years, it's still 2%. So what that mean, right? If I use money within 10 years, I pay a net loan 0.75%. That is a real charge. It's charged me 0.75%. I gave them 2.75%. They gave back 2% to me. So this is a net loan rate or loan spread. Or you can call it a loan spread or net loan rate, loan spread, which is a real charge. Okay, after 10 years, it's zero, it's a wash loan. So it's written here. Everybody follow me? 2%, 2%, zero. Net effective rate zero. If you use money within first 10 years, 0.75%. Clear? Yeah, 0.75% loan to use the money is quite low already. Okay, so now I think I tried my best, have explained to everybody the number 3, how to use money. So we have covered how to funding the policy. We have covered how the interest credited to the policy, 12 segment, point to point, follow index change, subject to the floor and the cap, and number 3, and how to use money. What mean by withdrawal and what mean by loan. All right, clear? Good. All right, next, we're gonna move to the second topic, using this policy, what I can do, what is the application, right? So Regina, you have kids, right? I believe all your friends or maybe your community of people have kids too, right? Number one, use the life insurance cash value. Guess what? They can use to pay your college. But the good thing is the cash value in the life insurance is financial aid friendly, right? If you read the FAFSA carefully, it says the home you live in, the value of life insurance and retirement account, those money does not count into your asset. So basically that is the invisible asset. So when you go to, kids go to college, you potentially can get more financial aid because the financial aid, how much you're going to qualify financial aid. Everybody wanted to get more financial aid so that you out of pocket less, right? Yeah. Right. So financial aid, they check on 4 things. One is your parents' income and also your parents' asset. You don't want to tell your boss, hey, my kids go to college, pay me less. You don't want to do that, right? But you want to do, I want to, my asset shows on paper looks low, right? But what is the asset shows on paper looks low, right? So the asset in the bank, in the money market, in the stock, in the 529, that is all visible asset, or that is all counting to the 6% part. But regardless how much I save in the 401k and house or life insurance, if I have 100k in the life insurance, does that count into the asset into the formula? No. That's what we say. The cash value in the life insurance is financially friendly, right? Let's say maybe a lot of your community friends is around 40 years old. Let's just using a 40-year female Massachusetts as an example, right? Yeah, if they are a $500,000 policy, right? And here you can see that is a planned premium. As I explained to you just now, you can put more like 7-pay, you can put less as minimum low lapse. While target, typically it is somewhere in between, right? I would recommend no less than target. At least you need to put target, okay? Yeah, let's say put a target for 40 years old to 20 years old, 20 years until age 60, right? And this is the index, let's say 100% to SP 500 index, US economy to keep things simple. And then let's not distribute money yet. Let's do a very simple scenario. And for the riders in the Transamerica, the terminal illness rider, chronic illness rider, critical illness rider, and also concierge planning rider, which means they can free give you a funeral arrangement and all the concierge service for free. Those riders are for free. Long-term care rider has a fee, and but these riders for free and do not require additional underwriting. Long-term care rider have a separate rider fee, but doesn't mean client need to pay more. Client pay the same, they just have a rider fee, but it require additional underwriting, right? So this is output design, and you can download the Illustrator, do a calculation. I want to show you briefly how it looks like. Okay, so here it is a illustration, and this is tabular detail, right? This is a non-guaranteed lender. Don't look at the guarantee lender. The guarantee lender means market goes down every day, every month, every year. Do you think that's possible? No. Even in the American history, Great Depression, it's never declining consecutively over 3 years, right? But guaranteed scenario is not represent the worst case scenario. It's just a represent a impossible scenario. So ignore it. No need to look at it. The non-guarantee alternative protection means, you do not invest into index. Since it has a floor, why not invest in index, right? So if people pick index option, the only relevant column is the right column here, right? So if this is a mom that they save money into a $500,000 policy at 55 years old, the kids go to college, they have a $92,000. Is the $92,000 available to pay their tuition? Yes. But is that $92 gonna plug in the formula and count into the asset so that they're gonna out of pocket more, expected family contribution gonna be more? No, that $90,000 does not count into the formula, which means financially friendly. You're gonna get more free money. Is that a good thing? Right. So that is application number one. The life insurance savings can replace 529, can use to save for a college funding. Make sense? Okay. Number two, the cash value can use for retirement funding, right? Let's say this client, they save 20 years. Let's say they say, hey, I want to retire, right? I want to loan money from age 66 to age 95, or I don't know how Asian ladies live long. Yeah, let's say you can solve for distribution amount. Yeah, let's say, right? So this person, they save 5,000 for, let's say 20 years, they save 100K, and then they get 10,000 for 30 years, from 65 to 95. They get 300K out. Okay, so they put 5,000 for 20 years, a total amount, they put 100K, they get about 300K out. The 200K is gains. Do they need to pay tax on the gains? No. And, plus they get a $500,000 protection, right? In case anything happened, their kids get $500,000. Right, so is this account can use as a retirement? Tax-free, right, risk-free, and also a protection. All right, so number three uses as long-term care. People protect do you have your insurance for your house, Regina? You do. Do you
Yes.
know that it's a 1 over 1,200, the odds that your house on fire, but you have the insurance for the house? Do you have a insurance for the car? The possibility for a car accident is 1 in 240. Right. However, for long-term care, especially for women, it's over 70 to 80% of the chance we need long-term care. So people have house insurance, people have car insurance, but how many people really have long-term care insurance? And it is really, really expensive right now. Right. Yeah. So and right now the industry have a genius design. The old traditional long-term care, it is like a car insurance. You used it or you waste it, right? But right now they have a genius design. They add a long-term care rider on top of permanent life insurance, because long-term care is very high possibility, 70 to 80% of the chance, but death is 100%. right? So they add a high possibility thing on a 100% thing, how that works. Okay, so if you click on the rider, if people say, I want to, have long-term care, right? So then, yeah, they can have long-term care. And then if they trigger long-term care, yeah, by the way, if you add a long-term care rider, it's the same thing as chronicle. So basically it replaced the chronicle illness rider. If you trigger long-term care in this policy, they're gonna give you 2% of $500,000, which is $10,000 every month, tax-free. Yeah, 10,000. Is that awesome? Yeah. So that is a long-term care. If people have $10,000, if people have $10,000 every month, do you think that gonna be, a good cash to cover long-term care bill?
Of course.
Yeah, of course, right? So, okay, so that is the third use for long-term care, right? So the number 4, is asset protection. I want to talk a little bit. The rule is depends on, state by state. But in case we have lawsuit, a lot of people, you have home care, you may be a doctor, or nurse, or you may be other profession, and 70% of the lawsuit happen in America. Right? So which asset class give you highest asset protection? You know what? The retirement account and also life insurance cash value. To many states, it's 100% protected from creditors. They can look after your house, but they cannot look after your retirement account and life insurance cash value. Right? And number 5, I want to talk about the estate planning. Is $500,000 goes to your kids? Do they need to pay income tax? No. If $500,000 is in the 401k, if people pass away and the 401k have $500,000, if their kids have $500,000 in their hands, do they need to pay tax? Yes. 401k, they need to pay income tax, right? So if we do not have a will or a trust and the other asset that we've passed down, we need to go through a long time probate process, and the probate cost is pretty high. But life insurance, even people do not have will, trust, it avoid the probate processes, go directly proceed to the beneficiary, avoid the fees and hassles. And also that money the kids get can become cash right away. The $500,000 they can put into a bank and become a cash. They do not need to liquid and they do not need to pay expense. If we leave a $500,000 house to the kids, right, and then they have some emergency use, and how soon they can become liquid cash, right? And also there's a lot of lawyer fee and agent fee, right? So that is leaving a legacy. In a recap, for a benefit of life insurance, number 1, they have a permanent life protection, not like a term that's gonna expire. Number 2, the cash value can access anytime. In case you have the emergency, you can call the life insurance company. They do not ask you what is the reason you need the money. It's not like a 401k, you need to validate the use. For example, the first time house purchase, the kids go to education, and also the medical expense. So here is your private asset. Nobody asks you what is the reason you use the money. It is my money and I want to use it, and they can go to my bank account within 24 to 48 hours if you use a wire. If you use a check with no cost, typically it takes 3 to 5 business days, and it comes to me right away as an emergency fund, right? This one use a kids education is better than 529 in the sense it's financially friendly, and this one can use as retirement like Roth IRA, no tax and no loan, and this one can use as long-term care rider. If $500,000 2%, then this is 10,000 every month tax-free, right? If I leave this money to my legacy, and most of us is coming to the States, and one of the most drive we come here is for our kids, right? So why we should let our kids start from the scratch? Leave some money, let them start easier, let them start from a high baseline. Is that better? Yes, I do believe so. And life insurance is no income tax and no capital gain tax and liquid and avoid probate and also asset protection, right? So we says one vehicle, multiple functions. And I think that concept, the IUL is really very much like an iPhone. How many people you have an iPhone? Do you like it? Right. I remember without the, smartphone, the age, Rojita, do you remember when we travel, how much stuff we need to bring? We need to bring
Yes.
camera, we need to bring the GPS, we need to bring the music player, iPod Nano, right? So it's multiple devices all together. It's very messy. But now when we go out, it's just one phone, right? So it is GPS is there, camera is there, text message there, email is there, right? And and the phone function become not a major function anymore. So the life insurance is still called life, but the function is more like a platform, and they have more multi-functions. And this is really a cost-effective solution. With one device, you save a lot of money. Is that true? Right? With one
True.
IOL, potentially it's one money. We always in Chinese word we say one stone, two birds, right? So this I feel like it's one stone, six birds, right? Multiple use. All right. So Udaf, that is all I want to share about the knowledge part. Maybe we can stay online for another few minutes if people have questions. Is that okay with you?
Yes, Sophia, I have one question.
Sure.
How much you have a family protection? Can you explain a little bit and why you need more?
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I personally, I have a 3 million IUL in the Transamerica. I have 2 million with Nationwide. I have 5 million. Yeah, I have a 10 million. Yeah, on myself.
Total including all the family? Only for
Not
family or
including
for you?
family. Including the family, I think we have a 27 million.
27 million. So why you need a big policy? Because we think ourselves 200,000 is enough for us. But why you need a 27 million? So including your kids.
Yeah, because I number one, I have a bigger dreams and goals, right? And of course, right? That is the I all in WFG. I make money, more money, so that I want to have more wealth. Number two is that this asset class, when I was, the health condition is not there, and the door closed forever. I want to, get it when I'm healthy and when I'm still young, right? I want to get approved more, right? I think if I apply more, I may not get approved. So that's get capped. Then also, this is a tax advantage account. Why not leverage a tax advantage account to max it out? Yeah.
All right, thank you, Sophia. So how long are you gonna stay? 15 more minutes for QA session?
Sure. That's yeah, 10 more minutes maybe. Yeah.
Okay, so 10 more minutes, only one question at a time. So if you have any questions, just raise your hand.
Yeah.
And you can ask. So maybe we take maybe 3, 4 questions. So 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
now we
I
have
treat everybody is really like my team, and I share from the heart, the bottom of my heart. That is all my secret.
Oh yeah,
It's
we
how
learned it
I
now.
talk in the field.
All right, so let's go, Ramji. Let's go.
Hi, Sophia. Good morning.
Mhm.
This is Ram Mahato, SMD from Texas. Sophia, your teaching style is so nice. We learn a lot of from you all the times, and this time also. I have a question. Uh, when we use the long-term care, 2% or whatever, they give us money from our cash value or the death benefit.
Good question. Yeah, they gave from the death benefit.
So if we use the 500,000 death benefit, then our cash value is still there.
Well, let me be careful. Different company treat it differently. For Nationwide, so they come from the death benefit. So my cash value is still earning my interest.
Okay. Thank you. And another question also, one more. Our money, when we get the loan, then they charge 2%. And our money always on the cash value. And cash value all the times of cap market. So why they give us only 2%, the equal? Why not that our cash flow? Because Trans-America or all company gave the loan from the sales account, but our money already on the cash value. So why not on the cap market that money 7-8%?
Oh, because if it is a loan, they need to put into a loan reserve account, you see. For example, if this year market down, if it's in the index account, you can 0.75%, right? So who gonna make the difference? So for this would be a very common practice for any loan. They're gonna put aside for a loan reserve account. They don't let the loan part to still participate in the market. Does that make sense to you? Right. So
Thank
that
you.
these two accounts is always in synchronize each other. And when you pay it back, it goes back to your cash, goes back to your index account. But this amount goes up simultaneously. No difference. Yeah.
Thanks, Anu.
Hi, thank you so much for such a beautiful presentation. I really like the way you explained the IUL with the X curve. That was just phenomenal. So I loved it. And also, you also provided the information regarding the loan versus withdrawal, which was very, very informative. So thank you for that information. The question that I have is, when you do loan, do you have to pay back that interest to get the credit interest?
No. So what happens is that if you have a loan, when you open your policy, it is always recorded on two values. One is the loan balance, which means, for example, right, if I borrow, let's put a simple number. If I borrow $100, right? So the next year, my loan balance become 102 because they charge me 2%, right? 102. And at the same time, in my policy, it has a loan, that is a loan balance, there is a loan reserve. My loan reserve is 102, right? If I pay 102 back, then the 102 back to my cash surrender value. If I don't pay my 102 back when I pass away, my beneficiary gonna get $500,000 minus outstanding loan. In other words, it's $500,000 minus 102.
Thank you. That clears up. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Dev sir.
Shophiya, you explain very easy way and very surprising. You find out the what is it? Term life insurance and whole life insurance, both are the cost of insurance and same. But and you also told me that whole life is cheaper than is a term life insurance, depend on the risk factor, right? So my question is, so term life insurance, whole life is cheaper than the term life insurance. Whole life and other index life insurance charge the premium cost also. So why you charge the premium cost in the index universal life? Can you explain a little bit?
Yeah. So for for example, IUL, they have different columns of cost. What I'm trying to say is for the cost of insurance part, for the pure life risk shelter part, that cost is not higher than the term. Of course, they have other associated costs. For example, premium expense charge. When I put in, it charged me 4%. When I don't put in that 4%, not there. It also have a per unit charge. And also it has a 0.06% monthly index charge. And also it has long-term care charge. But those charges have a different reason, right? For example, if the company gave me a protection floor, they need to have a cash reserve. They need to have for other protection mechanism. Literally, that cost is more towards the protection, the investment part, rather than shelter my life risk. It is, we need to separate and understand that. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. So that
Thank
extra,
you. Yeah.
that extra cost is to add on value to the investment part. but for the pure shelter life risk part, permanent life insurance did not charge us more.
Thank you.
Next, Pitadi.
Sophia, yes, thank you very much. It is very understandable class. But I have one quick question. Do you ever experience with the long-term care? Any of your client got that long-term care accepted or no? If
Fortunately,
you have, yes. If you have,
fortunately,
how?
not yet.
Not yet?
Fortunately, not
Okay.
yet. You know, I have been in this industry for 15 years, so I have never experienced a death claim, fortunately, and not experienced a long-term care claim yet.
Wow.
Okay, that is very good. I was just wondering if we have that long-term care claim.
You mute.
Unmute.
Yeah.
Unmute.
How difficult or how easy to get that long-term care, claim to get. So that's what, and also people are here or there in Philippines or Nepal, how it works.
I don't have a personal experience, but I believe
Mhm.
our entire team does. My understanding, it would be a standard procedure as the big insurance company every year they proceed. I remember Transmark or Nationwide they proceed over 100 billion face amount last year, right? So it must be a very standard procedure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
last one.
Sophia.
The last question. Last one, go ahead.
Okay. Sophia, thank you so much for awesome presentation. I learned a lot from you. I have a quick question about the payment. If it is higher than the 7 pay, I can see in the illustration there is a single premium. What is the tax consequences if somebody want to pay more than that 7 pay amount?
Okay, good question. If people put a guideline single premium is over 7 pay, so the death benefit is still tax-free. So the tax rule 101 is still there, right? However, they violate the 7702 living benefit rule. So if people pay over 7 pay, they give up that the living benefit tax-free. For example, if they put all together, right, 50K, and the cash value grow to 200K, if they want to use 100K, guess what? They need to, the gain part need to be taxable because they violate 7702. But the death benefit is still there. In case anything happened to them, the $500,000 proceed to their family is still tax-free.
Thank you.
All right, so it is almost 1.5 hours. Thank you, leader. We learned a lot. So far, I learned a lot too. So simple explanation, but we go to touch each and every part, each and every aspect, why IUL is very important and use of the various use of the IUL. So thank you again. So Sophia, I would like to invite you again because I'm working with your team every day. So that means you have to give us minimum once a month. So we
Oh my God. Oh, what
we need to learn more annuity. We need to learn more annuity because we don't have enough experience in the annuity in my whole team. That's why we are exploring the annuity as well.
Yeah, this team energy is awesome, Mudaf. Yeah, for Saturday morning, I'm excited to see 165 people there. A lot of them to me is new faces. I'm excited for you. And if I have one word for everybody, don't take WFG opportunity for granted. Take it serious. And Mudaf and all the SMDs are definitely amazing leaders. Their commitment because of your success. In WFG, I never seen an organization that the leader want you to success more than anybody else, right? They have a direct interest in you, and let's encourage each other and march together. Yeah.
All right, Sophia, thank you. So you don't need to
Sophia.
worry. I will give you the 2 SMD from Rosina and Mr. Yes Dhab this year. Okay.
Yes.
You need to start them proud. I will
Yes.
give you
Yes,
one SMD to Joanna. I
thank
will
you
give
very
you
much.
one SMD to Joanna.
Sophia, so you been here 15 years and your income is every year 1.5 or 1.6, right? So you increase every year 100,000. So right now you have a every year income is 1.5 million, right?
Every year, yeah. Thank you for your challenge. I take it.
All right, Shophiya.